So just please confirm me if my video is available. Like you can watch it.
Yeah, yeah, every I can see it very clearly. I'm sure everyone can see it, and I can hear you also very clearly.
Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead. I won't take much of your time. So I'm Shalom. I'm based out of Bangalore. I run a company called as Carbon Hubs. Carbon Hubs, a B2B focused air purification microbial detection company. We are one of its kind product and services that we are providing to B2B organization, specific to air related problems. This is a seed round. We have finished development of the product that's in specific to B2B as well as in B2C as well. There are certain parameters that we like to display it to the investors and jury out there. We have had almost around 3 lakhs of an cc of purification of done, purification of air done from a single product. So we have roughly about 24 products sold. So there's more than around 1 crore of an purification of an cc of air has been done from our end as from our products as well. So going to depth, like what's the vision as a product we have. Since in the existing market we have products that are doing air purification, microbial detection in a very small scale or in a very niche scale, I would say, in specific to the purification that is there in the market. There's a very huge gap in terms of technology and in terms of bridging that gap as well. Mission would be the right fit in that, where we're trying to put our technology, our designs into the product, in the existing product as well as a retrofit or a standalone, where we are able to provide them the purification that is needed to be done in the B2B and B2C sectors. So going ahead with the problem that we're trying to solve, it's quite simple. India is one of the most polluted countries, I would say, and there is equally increase in technology, there's equally increase in deforestation, there's equally increase in air pollution quantities. I mean, quality levels have been decreasing over there, and we do not have any standard solutions, or we do not have any particular solutions that the B2B organizations follow. They usually put a device called as HVAC systems, which is capable of purifying like around 15 microns, 20 microns. They're not able to go beyond that in a very large scale. So that is a major problem. There are roughly about millions of air pollutants, but we are focused on three air pollutants that are causing various problems at point 2. PM 2.5, PM 10, and the harmful gases and the microbes. So these will be the three ranges. So PM 2.5, PM 10 falls under one, harmful gases falls under one, and microbials falls under one category. So COVID will be the right example for microbial. People have understood what a microbial infection can do to a huge company, irrespective of the revenues or irrespective of the employee size. A small microbe can cause a various or can cause a huge impact on the organization. So that was one of the, I would say, a blessing for the organization, where we were able to prove the problem or show the problem to the bigger organizations. And meanwhile, the PM 2.5, PM 10 has been bothering the Indian organization or the Indian company specifically from a very long time, where we are trying to provide the solutions. So these actually are the products that are providing the solutions. So you might be asking, okay, these are the product. What is the solution that we provide? So in respective of the existing market known as HVAC systems, it can provide only around air purification up to like 6,000 square feet of an area, and they can reduce only on less than like more than PM 2.5. They can't go less than PM 2.5, and the efficiency drops from almost around 80% to 60% within a month. The reason being, HVAC systems are meant to run a very large scale, and since HVAC systems are not able to purify a very large scale, they reduce a lot of the purification has been reduced drastically within a month, and there's no additional services provided. Whereas within our organization, we're able to reduce the PM 2.5 and PM 10 within a span of 4 hours, from almost around 600 to 700 to, or we bring it down to less than like 200 or less than 100. We have even got less than 100 as well in certain cases. And in terms of any B2B organization that wants to know a microbial detection, they have certain method or technology that's been followed. It takes roughly about 14 days for them to find out what is the microbe present in them in the particular premises. Let's keep around 30,000 square feet of an area if the B2B organization is generally there in Bangalore. So it takes roughly about 14 days to find a specific space of like 8,000, 6,000 square feet. Within a product, instead of 14 days, we are able to identify the particular microbe within 4 hours. So what use it might be bringing is, let's keep an organization that's roughly about 5,000 employees. One particular person is being infected. So by the time they identify the particular person, it's evident that one particular microbe infection, irrespective of what is the infection, it can tend to move around to different people in a span of 14 days, I would believe like roughly around 10 to 15% of the entire population of that particular employee circle will be contaminated. So instead of having that huge contamination, we are able to identify the particular zone or the area where the contamination is within 4 hours. We're able to place a product in HVAC or in any of the retrofit devices, in any of the HVAC systems we can place it, or a standalone device. We're able to reduce the gas particles. One of the most interesting thing that I would say is we take roughly about 1 to 2 hours to reduce the gas particles. Almost around 5,600 square feet of an area, we're able to reduce the gas particles by within 2 hours. So that are the major things that we're adding into the existing market. So that would be major features in TurboX. Minifeed just carries the same technology in terms of the size is just reduced. The microfeed is one of the products that we are regionally developed, which is a B2C product. We are trying to get into the market. And one of the major things that the reason we are targeting the B2C is the existing market. People do not know what is the effect of the air purifier. They just see the brand, they just see the sponsors, they just see the, it's more of like a network effect that's happening in the B2B organizations, B2C organizations. So we are able to identify the particular point where the customer needs to know what the problem is and provide a solution. So this is a product that's a B2C, and Carbon also is a B2B product. So these are the portfolio of product that we have in our hold, and these are the solution as well that we provide to them. And in depth, what actually the product looks like. This is something very brief on what the product looks like. In depth, we have this just the outline of what the product looks like and how the purification been carried out. And it's almost have 9 levels of purification where we have roughly about 6 provisional patents being done. 3 for the design, 3 for the methodology in terms of identification of the microbe and in terms of reduction of the microbe as well. In the existing market, we have ion technologies that just pumps out almost around millions of ions, but we do not have any technology that can predict it. So we are able to do that. And then just briefing on what the solution that we do. As I told you, these are the solutions that we provide. Instead of 14 days, in 2 hours, you're able to identify it. Instead of having wearing and tearing of the HVAC system, we are providing them with a standalone device. And existing HVAC system do not have any AQIs, known as air quality index, where we provide them with the air quality index with the solution as well. And we are able to reduce the gas particles. That's a huge advantage in the existing HVAC system. So all the pollutants that is in the market, we're able to reduce it with a 9 levels of purification in the product. So what exactly the market that we're into? We are looking at $220 million of a market in India alone, which is gradually growing. And also one of the in the entire slide that here, I would actually like to highlight a particular point that is in the last box towards the right. If you see, the air purification was actually installed. Only 9% of the entire B2B organization had HVACs being installed. That is only 9%. But the number of purification that's installation has been done is almost 60.3%. That's quite high. That's a huge increase, I would say, from 9% 60%. And also the government is actually working its way to improvise the proper air quality levels for the B2B organizations, where they can actually have a proper purification done, where our technology will be the right fit or will be the right fit in the gap to provide the technologies. So what exactly a business model looks like? These are some of the business models that we have developed and is working as well. In terms of sales, we're directly working with some of the innovation hubs that are connected to the IT companies. We are working in partnership with the government as well as into certain sectoral based companies that are providing services to the hospital sectors. Early adopters will be moreover like the companies that or the organization or sectors that are adopting our technology or adopting the method that we're trying to provide them the solution much more faster compared to them. The reason we are not added a healthcare sector, which is a major dominant sector for us, is because the time required for them to take a decision is quite long, and it's a data-driven process where we're also working in that as well. Some of the customers, whether it's international or it's in India, we are providing service to the organization, and our revenue comes through 2 models. That's directly selling the product, and second, most of the healthcare sectors required a solution of microbial detection. So we have a revenue basis of like rental as well as in service basis of the product as well. So going in depth in what actually the market or the particular zone that we have looks like. These would be some of the sectors or some of the competitions in terms of the technology available in the market. So we are one of the companies that provide the solutions in a much more easier and convenient way to the B2B organizations, and the rate at what we are purifying is comparatively high compared to market standards, as well as the microbial detection is quite high. And the services that Hitchback provides is almost around 10 months. One services where we provide them around 2 to 3 months. And even in the basis of distributors, we have almost around 10% of higher distributor models compared to the existing market like a Blue Star or Godrej. That's a market standard that we are trying to adopt to. And in the B2C specifically, what will be the competition? These are some of the competition in terms of startup or well-known brand, what we are trying to do, and what is the purification levels that we're providing to, and as well what is actually we are the main reason we're trying to do this is actually we're trying to tell the customer about the problem that is most required, identify the particular microbe that's present, irrespective of just telling them it's been getting purified. So these would be some of the competitions in terms of B2C, and this would be the team that we are working along with. I'm Shalom, heading the organization. I have experience in terms of in BSNL as well as Cognizant, and I headed marketing in Chorus. So that would be a background in terms of my work experience. Mr. Suresh has 24 years experience in mechanical development in SKF. And Sheetal and Shoaib are the team that is working on marketing and sales. Shoaib had experience in a previous startup in Chorus as well in terms of heading B2B sales. And Sheetal has experience in terms of digital marketing and B2B organized connections. These should be our mentors and our incubations hubs where we have received the help in terms of development of the product. So this is what we're looking at. We're looking at raising a 2.25 crores of an investment with a 15% of an exchange. We do have certain commitments from Mumbai Angels as well. We are going for WFC. We are in the initial process as well as in 100x is still in the process. We have finished the first 2 rounds and we're still going with the second round as well. These would be the strategic plans that we are trying to develop or we are yet to develop in what we are trying to do. These are the sectors where each of the money will be going in. This actually is a projection in where even though if we do not receive fundings, what will be the graph? We'll be having a slow growth, I would say, in terms if we don't receive the funding. And in this, if we have a funding, we have another presentation that if any of the investors would like to have that, we'll be able to show that in depth what as a company, what as an organization that we have achieved. I would say we have achieved almost around 10 Pan India awards, and also we can see to the left corner we have been recognized by MSSW as well as in IIT that this kind of technology can actually help in COVID and other microbes that are yet to come, and which can help in prediction as well in reduction. So these would be some of the small innovations that we have developed in our organization and have received our award. And that would be my presentation. I'm open to questions right now, sir.
Yeah, anyone has any questions? Shalom will be very happy to answer them. Even as a part of the presentation, if anyone has any questions, maybe it was a little fast forward that Shalom went through, but anything you want to ask him, you can write to us and we can get you the answers to that.
I just want to add that we are evaluating to make an investment in the Carbon Hub, and we are in talk, and we already had a couple of discussions with Shalom.
That's great. Thank you, Harish. I am sure.
So from a product perspective, it looks good. Although, Shalom, to be honest, I think it's a little crowded space currently. A lot of people are trying to do work here. No?
Right. Yes.
So creating the differentiator is slight bit of a challenge. So the brands which are doing it will have the brand differentiation. You can go on mute, whoever has the background music.
Gopi, can you go on mute? Gopi, can you go on mute, please?
Gopinathan, sir?
Gopinathan, can you go on mute, please?
Yeah, Shalom, sorry about that. So what I'm saying is you'll have to really figure out what's the differentiator, right? Because technology differentiator, no, I do one camera, then somebody does 2 cameras, then somebody does 3 cameras, that's how, and then nobody uses any of the 3. Understand? So that's something that I want you to really think about. I'm not looking for an answer, but really think about it. Broadly, green technology is something I'm happy to take to Jharkhand Angels, definitely. So that's something we can consider. But I'm still looking for that one good differentiator for the product.
Yes, sir. We do have the answer. Maybe after this call we will connect, and I will be able to justify that question that you asked. That will be the right way to do it.
Anyone else has any more questions for Shalom before we move to the second startup for the presentation?
Yeah, I will just take a moment here. So Shalom, just to summarize, you are diluting 15%. So your valuation is 15 crores, right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
All right, all right. And in your cap table, what is your cap table actually? How is it
Yeah.
looking?
At present, the founders hold majority of stake in terms of incubators as well as in discussion. In terms of the round, we want to close a round and go ahead with the cap table of who's going to lead the round. So that would be actually now at present, majority of the stake is with the founders.
And have you diluted to Mumbai Angels and other people that you're talking already?
No, at present we're not diluted yet. The reason is because we are just in process where we have to discuss on finishing the rounds.
And what is the valuation you are working with them currently?
Same 15.
Same 15 CR.
15. Yes.
15.
All right, all right. Thanks a lot for the information.
Thank you, sir.